So what we're witnessing is the collapse of the USA live in real time. And this is day 36 of Donald Trump's shutdown, heading towards day 37 with no end in sight. I want to give you guys the latest, and let's jump right in. So first, we're trying to figure out, okay, so you want to cut 10% flights. They're basically saying it's just not safe. My opinion on this stuff is if you have to fly anywhere right now, I would really, really seriously question if it's worth going, right? Only if you really need to go. I'm just being honest with you. They're saying, we got to cut flights 10%, 40 different airports. Listen to the way they talk about it today, and you'll see what I'm saying.
But it's just they're going to go into the second pay period without a paycheck, and it's the longest ever, Brian. And again, there's consequences for it. And people have asked me, why don't you find money for air traffic controllers? That's the purpose of a shutdown. I don't have access to money. I can't find dollars to pay them because the Congress said there is no money. And so we can't break the law. And so I can't pay them. I'd love to, but I can't. And so the message is sit down, figure this out, open the government up, and let's not hold Americans hostage, especially when they want to travel. That's not the way to do this. Let's get this resolved.
Okay, so while America's melting down and we're wondering where the money is, they're having an award show over at Fox News. You can't make this up.
Audience here at the Patriot Awards. First Lady Melania Trump is also set to take the stage tonight, where she'll be honored as the Patriot of the Year.
I promise you, whatever you're thinking, raise the bar again. Yeah. And this is the actual red carpet. Everyone comes down here and they have a chance to interact with each other. We don't always see each other every day in studio. For us, it's great because all the anchors and producers and everybody gets a chance to interact. So we love it.
Introducing your Patriot of the Year, First Lady Melania Trump. No, seriously, they're actually having an award show during the shutdown for the Patriot Awards. And, the joke is that Melania who's an immigrant, will do jobs that Americans won't do. And what's that? Be married to Donald Trump. And I guess you get an award for it. Now, while this is going on, the Trump team are literally falling down. Check this out.
And creating high-value jobs. But today, are you okay? Gordon, you okay? Yeah.
Press out. Press. We're going. Thank you, press. Press. Try to guys. Cameras. We're done rolling. Cameras. Thank you guys. Step out, please. Thank you guys.
Okay, so that's not something you see very often. Do I laugh? Do I cry? What do you even make of this? The guy literally falls down. I hope he's okay. No, ill meaning here. They're falling down. And this is actually at a health conference thing you're having. The Dr. Oz was there, the RFK, right? These are health people falling down in the Trump administration. I don't even know what to say. This is a map of where the airports are going to be closed. They announced it haphazardly yesterday. Now they're giving us more info. Basically, it's all our major airports. Long story short, it's all our major airports. We're cutting flights. The government then, while they're literally falling down, they're going to try to say that everything's okay. This is normal. The language that they use, they say, to put that in perspective, right? Now, remember the goal is 10%, but they say a 4% reduction, which is they're going to do this weekend, in key markets represents approximately 100 flights, right? A level we routinely manage during standard weather or irregular operational events. So if you understand this correctly, they're trying to downplay it. Okay, 4%, it's normal. But they're shooting for 10% reductions, right? This is just starting this weekend. It's going to get worse. The airlines then, this is United. This is their statement. Updated FAA mandated flight reductions. Flight schedules beginning Friday, November 7th have been adjusted, right? So if you're traveling, contact them. And that's the way they stated. And FAA mandated flight reductions. Delta is saying the FAA has directed all airlines to reduce flights at 40 major U.S. airports. That's starting tomorrow. And then also American Airlines saying, due to the ongoing government shutdown, the FAA has directed airlines to reduce flight schedules. I'll just say this, guys. This is a absolute PR nightmare for the airlines. It is a nightmare for everyone, all around. It's a nightmare for everyone, all around. I think you know this. It's frustrating to talk about this stuff. And you're just like, where's the money? What are you guys doing? And then you have the markets are crashing today, right? Stocks slide as tech jitters return. Lots of red in the market, of course there is. And what is Dear Trumper saying? Have a listen to this.
Issues are ruling. It could be several weeks. Are you going to lay out any new additional tariffs before?
I don't want to talk about it. I'm going to hope that we win. I can't imagine that anybody would do that kind of devastation to our country. You know, we'd have to pay back trillions of dollars. We've taken in trillions. We haven't taken in billions. We've taken in trillions of dollars. We've made trade deals based on that give us, as an example, European Union, $950 billion. Japan, $650 billion. South Korea, $350 billion. Without this, we're not talking about that kind of money. And they're okay. They're satisfied. They love us. I just left. They all love us. So it's not like we're such bad people. But they were doing it to us until I came.
Okay, so I disagree. I think you are such bad people. And if you are indeed getting all of this money, why can't even we pay our people? Where's the money? Where's the food money, right? And listen to Duffy talk about this crap. Again, we're talking about transportation here. This is a transportation dude.
It's going to take us some time to staff back up. It will be data driven, but no doubt we'll see light at the end of the tunnel, right? We're going to start to reduce that 10%, maybe to 5, maybe to 4, until we can get back to normal travel. But it'll determine, the data will determine how we do it, when we do it. And even the NATCA, the National Air Traffic Controllers Union, has said it'll take time to get everyone back in the towers. So as they come back online, we'll reopen the airspace. But again, we're about safety. We're about making sure people's flights go from point A to point B and people get on them and off them safely. And we're just, as Americans, going to deal with the gridlock. I hope that the whole Congress looks at this and says, let's find a pathway forward together. I've been in these, but we've never had a shutdown that's lasted this long. So we're in uncharted territory. And by the way, our controllers have done a great job showing up compared to other shutdowns. So they're doing their work.
And then you've got this. Trump administration must fully fund food aid benefits by Friday, U.S. judge rules. This is just breaking now. So while the airports are planning their cuts, we're like, okay, where's the food money? This is what the judge said. It says, the evidence shows that people will go hungry, food pantries will be overburdened, and needless suffering will occur. That's what irreparable harm here means. So essentially, the USA is collapsing. I just put it in the most simplest terms so you understand. Where's the money? Trump says we have all this money. Where's the money? Judge says you better do it by Friday. And then you've got this while the government is melting down. Attorney General Pam Bondi, she says, attorneys at the Justice Department just secured our 24th victory at the Supreme Court's emergency docket. So I guess this is an emergency, right? During the shutdown of the flights, we're talking about passports, okay? Some sort of emergency. What's the emergency? Today's stay allows the government to require citizens to list their biological sex on their passport. In other words, there are two sexes. Our attorneys will continue fighting for that simple truth. Okay. So I guess the emergency really is when you lose an election, when you don't know where the money is, when the government is shut down, right, going into day 37, you start waving around, trans this, trans that, and you get your Republican base to hate trans people. Is that your plan? Is that your economic plan? We're going to be talking about trans stuff. These are how ridiculous these people are, and I just wanted to show you it. I don't even know what to say, other than these people are a bunch of losers. And I'm talking about the Bondis and the Trumps and stuff. It's obvious. Now listen to more what they say about the shutdown of the airlines.
Traffic controller is one of the most high-pressure jobs that there is on the planet. How much is this shutdown increasing pressure on individuals?
Well, if there's an American out there that would say, just, tell me or put me in a position where for 37 days, I'm not going to receive pay. And by the way, I don't know when you'll be paid again. And also, you probably won't recoup that money for 2.5 months post the shutdown opening. I think any American would say, yeah, completely understand the pain of what's going on with air traffic controllers. There was a trainee today that before I just left the office to come here, said, I've been evicted. I'm being evicted out of my apartment. I'm supposed to be going to work to train today, but I have 5 days notice to get out of my apartment. And the other air traffic controllers who aren't getting paid are the ones rallying around him right now to try and make sure that his rent's paid so he doesn't.
So in Donald Trump's shutdown, air traffic controllers are getting evicted. Again, we're going to day 37, and I noticed too, even on Fox News, They're showing all the flight cancellations. I mean, you can't hide this stuff. You can't hide their failures. It's absolutely crazy. And Trump's then going to go brag about, I guess we're now, hey, I've saved you from sending you to war or something. Listen to this.
Okay, look, I'm ending war because of these tariffs. Americans would have to fight in some of these wars. They're gaining in national security. They're gaining in economics. They're gaining in so many different ways. And they're gaining in self-respect for our own country. Other countries used to laugh at us. They would charge us tariffs. Japan was charging us massive tariffs.
Other countries used to laugh at us, and I'm saving you from fighting in wars. What is this guy talking about? He's like so delusional. Now, here's the reality, guys. This is just unfortunate. We had a report today, I made a video about earlier. I wanted to look at more at it. Job cuts are here. Recession looks very real. Listen to this.
When the cell phone was invented, but you know, there are all sorts of reasons we have heard from companies lately about job cuts. And if you look at Target or UPS or Amazon, I mean, all of these companies have announced job cuts recently. Paramount, Skydance announcing recent job cuts as well. Starbucks, Delta Airlines, CarMax, Rivian Automotive. Yeah, some of them talk about.
And they're just listing the companies on and on and on with job cuts. And I've been warning you guys about this stuff. It's really ugly out there. And we still don't have official government numbers. These are actually private numbers, but the numbers are going to get out. People are going to be adding this stuff up. And also, you know, when you lose your job, it's you know. So don't let Trump tell you that you're winning all the time. I mean, it's absolutely nonsense. And this is a look at the sectors of where these job cuts are.
But the report puts in perspective what we've been reporting here day after day, week after week. Series of marquee announcements unveiled in recent weeks across U.S. industries, including UPS, Amazon, Target, among others, Paramount, Rivian, all these companies there. Government has been responsible year to date for 308,000. But look at that, tech 141. That could be where you see a lot of the AI, maybe some in warehousing, but a big chunk of that's going to be UPS, as well as potentially some hit from reduced flows of trade. Retail's up there, as is services.
And you can see right there in this particular chart, the government layoffs or cuts are the biggest. And you got tech, warehousing, retail, and services. It's ugly out there. And this, I want to give you a different point of view. This is from J.D. Vance. So he's going to blame the Democrats, of course, and we'll just see what he has to say. He says, what the Democrats are doing to the government shutdown is generally unprecedented. And while the administration has shielded the American people from the worst of consequences, all of this is coming and soon. So I'm going to disagree with Vance on what the cause of this is, and he has a right to his opinion. But I'll just say this. I think we can all agree that things are melting down. And Vance, you and Trump are the people in power, so like, I'm blaming you, all right? You can blame who you want, but I'm blaming you. But let's take a look at what Vance has to say of what the consequences are. This is from Vance. An aviation emergency that will lead to significant travel delays for all Americans, okay? Food stamp and other assistance programs running out for needy Americans. Great strains on our military and national security. The shutdown has now passed from farce into tragedy, and the consequence of this national emergency fall on every senator and congressman who refuses to open up the government. Now, it's crazy when they're talking about emergencies, yet, you know, their priorities are over the Supreme Court talking about passports and attacking trans people. I mean, I'm just showing you what these people are doing. And now I want to show you a different point of view. This is from Bernie. See what Bernie has to say about this.
And what has always happened under these circumstances is that the majority party sits down and negotiates with the minority in order to get the 60 votes. That always happens, except now. For the first time that anyone can remember, Republicans have said it is our way or the highway. We are not negotiating it. You take it or you leave it, and that's the way it is. And then, to add insult to injury, to make it clear that they have no intention of negotiating, unbelievably, at a time when federal employees are not getting paychecks, when kids are being threatened without getting the nutrition they need through the SNAP program, when air traffic controllers are not being paid, in the midst of all of that, the Republican Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, has given his members of the House of Representatives, a 6-week paid vacation. Incredibly, they are not here in Washington, D.C. They are home. God knows doing what? So in the midst of a government...
Yeah, and every time I see Bernie, I'm just like, we had a chance to. I'm a huge Bernie fan. I'll just be frank with you guys. We had a chance to go with someone sane, and here we are. Bernie also says here, Trump claims he is a deal maker. Well, Mr. President, let's make a deal today. Stop the doubling of health care premiums for 20 million Americans. Stop 15 million from losing their health care. Immediately reopen the government. What are you waiting for? So it's hard to say when this is going to end, but I'll say there's a real deadline coming in terms of Thanksgiving, and there's going to be a lot of people that are really, really upset. So that's my thoughts on this. I want to hear yours, and I'll catch you on the next video.